Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So it's Tuesday morning. It's the wee hours in the morning. Kind of feels like Monday night, but it's technically Tuesday morning. 2:53 a.m. Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. I am walking north on 50th Street, a wee bit north of Van Buren. Not the most scenic place. By the way, shooting on Obamaphone 3, so y'all can hopefully see a little more. It's funny because like the image that I see in the screen is awful because the screen on this phone is shattered to shit. But I can also see more detail in this than when shooting in Obamaphone 4 when I just see darkness. So hoping I'm getting better quality video. Well, I keep this one short enough to be able to run what do you call it? A stabilization filter on it? Probably not. probably not. I'm just gonna wander around and talk to myself until I run out of space. My friend that I was hanging out with earlier today or yesterday, depending on your perspective, he's also works the graveyard shift, so he's talking about maybe hanging out, although I haven't heard from him in about an hour because I've been chatting with somebody that I met that I clicked with pretty well over at Newtown. So but I'm hoping he's down to hang out in the middle of the night since this is my daytime. And I mean, no real plans for what to do, but I kind of want to get my 9-bot scooter working again. I think this just has a short in it, to be honest. I don't think it really needs any parts or anything. It just needs taken apart and all the wires wiggled and then put back together. This is one of those streets that just makes me realize just how painfully car-centric Phoenix is. Like, we got apartments on each side, but just giant walls that isolate this street from them. Feels like an alley, but as you can see, it's a street. Those are the luxury apartments that are on Van Buren, just west of Newtown Saloon. Just north of Newtown Saloon, by the way. And then behind another fence there, it looks like there's a entrance, but it looks like one of those entrances that can only be entered for fire trucks, not actually used by anybody else. I'm pretty sure that's part of... I forget what the hell it's called, but it's a ginormous data center that's on 48th Street north of Van Buren. That looks like the back end of it. It doesn't look like there's actually any kind of entrance other than that emergency one for the fire department. And then suddenly, after quite a bit of walking with just a wall, sidewalk and a wall, and before the sidewalk started, there was no sidewalk. Suddenly there's a big old parking lot and some apartments. This is called... Did I say I'm on 50th Street? This looks like it's... You know what? I am on 50th Street. Although the address of this place is 502 North 51st Street, and I understand why. But Phoenix Landing... Yeah, the address of this place is on 51st Street, although I'm on 50th Street. I'm on the back end of it. But so many of these apartment complexes, they give zero thought into how, if somebody lives there, they would access it and come and go as a pedestrian. It's just all about the entrance to the parking lot. And this road is not very... I mean, it's got a sidewalk. It's not awful to walk on. It's very interesting. It has no parking signs. And I think it's not like there's not room for parking. I think that's just a Phoenix way of preventing people living in their cars along the road. For what it's worth, I haven't seen any homeless people since I decided to walk north from Newtown instead of walking down Van Buren. Trying to keep an eye on my other phone in case my friend messages me back on Snapchat. It's kind of feel like exploring that way. All right, exploring this way because I never come this way, and I'm bored as fuck. Still trying to find the old lady. I don't feel like explaining our relationship because it's kind of a hard thing to explain anyway. Corner of 50th Street and Taylor Street. So 50th Street turns, goes east down Taylor Street. The freeway that you see and the traffic that you can see up ahead. Hoping you can see it. I can certainly hear it. Well, let's not block the freeway traffic going up ahead. There goes a car on the freeway. That's the loop, 202 freeway. It does a bit of like an S curve near here. This is an odd pocket of land. So apparently Taylor Street doesn't have the no parking signs. That's a random place for somebody to have their car parked. That gives me strong somebody living in that car vibe, so I don't think I'm going to walk up on them, shooting video and bother them. Wow, does this qualify as an unmarked park crosswalk? It's an odd place for a wheelchair ramp, and we got a matching one on the other side right here. What the hell is this? Park Pro 5000. It'll be 5000 East Taylor Street. I have no idea what this business is. I've never noticed this business before. I'm just wandering. I'm just exploring. I'm taking you all along for the walk. It's definitely the back end of that data center. I know they've got some pretty intense security here. I'm not trying to fuck with their security. I was kind of hoping. Again, we have another gate to it. Wheelchair ramps from the sidewalk to take me to the southbound on 50th Street sidewalk. This gate obviously not used by anything. What's the sign say? Notice this facility employs video surveillance. Hey, I got my video surveillance too, so I'm watching you, watching me, watching you. I was kind of hoping, looking at Google Maps, that there might be some way that I could walk north on 50th Street and maybe walk along the side of the 202 freeway in sort of an easement between the 202 freeway and 48th Street. That's what I was hoping for. Probably not going to find the old lady on that easement, but I'm looking for the pedestrian shortcuts. I'm looking for the ways that make it shorter to walk, because so many things make it longer to walk. I didn't think the odds were good, and yeah, there's obviously gates there. I'm sure I'm being watched by video surveillance, and hey, that's where the sidewalk ends. Shel Silverstein warned me about where the sidewalk ends. Oh yeah, there's definitely somebody living in that car. You know what? That's a pretty nice car. Props for them if they're homeless and living in their car, for finding some place so chill to park and exist. There's a fence between that apartment complex to the south. This feels very much like kind of a forgotten street. I mean, I have no sidewalk. It looks like there's a sidewalk on the other side. There are no parking signs on the side of the road I'm on. Very odd that there's no parking. Oh, you know what? There totally is no parking signs on the other side. I see them. But the first no parking sign that I see is right here. Kind of dark. Maybe y'all can't see it. And I don't think there's a no parking sign between the corner where that random person seems to be living in their car and that no parking sign. So yeah, there's no reason for there to be no parking on the street. Obviously there's room to parallel park on the street, but that's what the city of Phoenix does to stop vagrants from parking, which I don't know. I think it's kind of a hooked up thing. Got a chain link fence on the right and just more of that apartment complex on the right. No access to it from this street. I've gone down this street numerous times as a cab driver, accessing these apartment complexes, and it's always kind of dumbfounded me how, these apartments are probably not awful to live in, but would be awful to live in if you didn't drive, because they just have entrances to this weird road, which is several different, it changes names as it keeps turning, and doesn't really, there's 2 ways in, 2 ways out. Red lights in that window. Parking signs on each side of the road. Yeah, that one business, I forget what it was called. It's right there. It's tall, small, and it becomes that's ADOT land on the other side of the chain link fence, which you probably all can't see, and I can definitely see somebody walking through there. There's definitely somebody walking through there. Don't know if my video is catching up, but there's definitely somebody walking through there. I'm gonna stay back and try to be chill, because I think they're looking for the hole in the fence. If there's a hole in the fence, I want to see them come out it, because I want to go through it. Because this road, if I stay on it, it changes names, I think, to 51st Street and turns and goes south, and it does this weird windy thing, and I'm walking way out of my way. But if there's a hole in the fence that guy that's walking through, I can go underneath that bridge there, underneath the loop 202, and get to 52nd Street. That's where I'm trying to get. Definitely am not seeing the guy come through the fence. There's definitely a semi truck, a tractor, the tractor trailer, right there parked on what is definitely marked as no parking. Get the feeling the city of Phoenix police doesn't come through here and give parking tickets too often. Because otherwise, why would that person risk the chance of their truck getting impounded for being in a no parking zone? I didn't see where that person disappeared to on foot. I'm not seeing any obvious holes in the fence. Wow, I'm seeing that there's maybe a property here that is not ADOT property. This is weird. Look at that. Can you see the double fence line? There's a fence line there and a fence line here, and there's a little wedge of property in between it. That might be private property in that little wedge. That's weird. Property lines fascinate me. It's probably boring as fuck for most of my viewers, but shit fascinates me. And the infrastructure, there's I can see kind of a footpath and a drainage canal there. I don't see where the guy that was on foot went, but he was definitely walking through here, so it's possible to get on the other side of this fence and walk. As I said, this street is weird. So we're now at the corner. Yeah, what I thought it was. Taylor Street and 51st Street. It goes south. I do believe that 50th Street continued farther to the north before the Loop 202 freeway was built. And now we finally have another entrance to that apartment complex. Funny how that apartment complex has no entrances to Taylor Street, but this little stretch of 51st Street is where it gets its address from. I remember the first time I got a cab company call into this place, and boy did it fuck with my brain trying to figure out where the hell it was. I mean, I found it and this is pre-GPS. I found it, but boy was it a challenge. Apparently on-street parking is allowed here because there's a bunch of it, which tells me this apartment complex doesn't have adequate parking for all of the residents and all the visitors. Well, that guy is so illegally parked. Look how much space he got between his car and the curb as he's facing the wrong direction. There's entrance. It's building 8. Remember how many times cab companies would dispatch calls and I'd hear the address and I'm like, yeah, what's the building number? They didn't give me a building number. They've got a building number. Oh, they didn't say they had a building number. Can you get the building number? Well, they didn't give me a building number. And then of course I'd get there, I'd be like, what's the building number? I need the building number. Yeah, Phoenix Landing. This definitely had a different name the last time I came through here. This place used to be pretty ghetto. It looks like it's kind of cleaned up since when I came in here as a cab driver. I'm not trying to alarm any of the people that live in this complex. I'm going to get back on the sidewalk. So here it looks like the street changes again and changes names, but I'm pretty sure at this point where it does the 90-degree turn that it stays as 51st Street. I'm pretty sure. There does seem to be a piece of property on the corner, on the northeast corner here, that is not fenced, that is private. Whoa, did y'all see the blue lights in the distance? There's somebody traveling on a bike in the easement between here and the freeway going north. Whoa, and there's dome lights on in that vehicle. There's somebody definitely living in that vehicle, in that minivan. I tell you, homelessness is everywhere. I'm in a pretty sketchy area. You see all the tagging on the wall here. Am I scared? No, not really. Maybe I should be, but... Boy, the level of security fence definitely went up. Look at them spikes. And this one's definitely one of those fire department entrances only. Phoenix crime-free multi-housing program. It's kind of a hard to see sign. Maybe I can put a little light on it so y'all can see it. Whenever you see this sign in an apartment complex, that's a pretty sure sign that you're in the ghetto. Any apartment complex that joins the Phoenix crime-free multi-housing program is, it's not a good sign. Got no trespassing signs. I'm on a public sidewalk here, so I'm doing completely legal activity. A little bit sketchier and scarier than Amagassett Press, but exercising my First Amendment right to film in public from a sidewalk. This is definitely a different apartment complex here. I don't know the name of it, but one of my closest friends, I believe, used to live in this complex. His name was Dave. I miss him a lot. I don't talk about him as much as I probably should. I knew it was a sketchy complex when he lived here. It wasn't so sketchy where he was, but this place has a Van Buren address. The only entrances are to Van Buren. As you see, it's fenced off from this street. Very fiercely fenced off from the street. Like, why is there a gate there? Fire code. But, wow, we got some gang tagging here. Can y'all see that? Will help if I put some light on it. ES2 4th Street, so East Side 24th Street gang. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's somebody's homeless shelter. Yikes. Yeah, so this road turns in a weird way here, and there's a weird piece of vacant property there. Definitely the direction of this road changed when the Loop 202 freeway was built. I don't remember what it was like before. I'm pretty sure that 50th Street used to go through all the way to Roosevelt before the freeway was built. Unfortunately, this is not a part of town that I ever went to before the freeway was built, so I don't have a lot of memories of the layout. I'm wanting to get into this area where I saw people. And this is the entrance right here. Yeah, it's a shame I never shoot these videos when it's daytime, but there is definitely a gate. There's a fence separating the ADOT property, and there's a gate here, and it is open. It is wide open. So I'm entering ADOT property. Looks like along that fence line, there's some, there's a few people, urban campers. And yeah, I'm into the ADOT property. There's a Loop 202 freeway above me. I'm gonna check my messages and see if my friend still wants to come over and whisk me away to his place to work on my scooter. Nope, no message from him. Wow, I got an email digital receipt from Newtown. That's bizarre because I never did give them my email address. So I don't know how that worked. Which is fine, whatever. I've been going to Newtown off and on for many years. This is trippy. This is definitely where the guy was riding his bike that had those weird blue lights. I'm not sure if the video caught that well. I was hoping I could find some kind of a unofficial pedestrian passageway, and I found it. There's some random trash left in different places, which just screams homeless people been living here. On the other side of the fence, on the private property there's some tents. There's a bit of an encampment, but not much. This is a little off the beaten path for the average homeless person. Whereas if I was walking along 44th Street or along Van Buren or along Washington Street, it's the zombie hour right now. So I'd definitely be seeing some people. But I did see one person walking, and this is definitely where he was walking, was along this path. As I mentioned, I was just over there. That's the corner of 51st and did I say Taylor? I think Taylor. So I'm on the other side of the fence now that I didn't see the opening. I found the opening. So yeah, I saw a person walking through here. He was definitely on this path. And, oh, I see a tent over there. Can you all see the tent? See a couple little campsites over there. It's out of the way. I mean, there's the exit. What you see in that overpass that you see right there. What's on the other side of it is the off-ramp. Wow, quite a few campsites over there. What you see is the off-ramp for, well, I'm tripping on how many campsites are on the other side of the little drainage canal there. Hopefully they don't come out and get all aggro about me videoing. But what's on the other side of it there is the off-ramp from the eastbound 202 to 52nd Street, and that exit is signed as being for 52nd Street and for Van Buren Street. That's an exit when I was driving that I took quite frequently. Never noticed all the urban campers on the right side there. It's kind of dark, so it's hard to count exactly how many tents, but there's several of them. I did see somebody rolling through on a bicycle and one person rolling through walking, so it's probably a safe bet. There's some people that are awake there. As long as I keep myself moving, I shouldn't have anything to worry about. Boy, I can tell just from looking at the dirt that there's quite a bit of traffic goes through this way. Which kind of makes me wonder, why is there not an actual proper bike route here? Why is there a chain link fence that's cutting this off, separated by other chain link fence, cutting it off from those apartments? How much nicer would the pedestrian infrastructure be if there was direct connection between those apartments and a nice paved, well-lit, multi-use path here? I mean, I'm already in public land. Let's make some transit infrastructure that isn't just for cars. Come on, ADOT, y'all can do that. So that's the little piece of property that I mentioned that was shaped like a little wedge. There's definitely a little piece of private property between here and there. So I can see at this point the fence line is not very far from that on Taylor Street. But yeah, there's the other fence line, and right here I hit another fence. Ooh, I think I hear a dog. I need to keep moving. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely a odd little triangular lot. I wonder if zoning code makes that triangular lot so small that nobody can build anything on it. Oh, look, a forklift. Speaking of forklifts, what was I doing for so long at Newtown on a Monday night? Not doing karaoke. Karaoke was on Thursdays. It's been a long time since I've come to karaoke on Thursdays. And apparently the bar just changed hands, like roughly a week and a half ago, which is why there was the application for liquor license in front. Due to I got the full scoop today talking with the guys I was talking with. The owner has passed away. His brother inherited it. The brother wanted nothing to do with owning the bar, put it up for sale, sold it to somebody who was interested in owning the bar. That's about all I know. The guy I was mostly chilling and talking with, whose name I don't remember. Okay, so we've made it to the other end of that other business and to a fence line that is on the alignment of 50th Street. Wish I had. This would be a lot more interesting in the daytime because you could see the alignment of. I'm definitely where 50th Street used to be. I'm pretty sure 50th Street went through to the north from here before the freeway was built, as I recall. So I'm at the corner of the data center. So I was hoping there would be a path between the data center and the freeway. It turns out there is. Unfortunately, there's no way to get from here, where the path is, directly to 50th Street. That's shameful. This, where I'm walking, could be a multi-use bike route, pedestrian, PEV path. And with connectivity right here to just a little bit of an easement between the data center and whatever the hell that other business was that I never knew just existed, there could just be just enough of an easement. Phoenix can eminent domain that into existence easily. Just to connect it to 50th Street. Just to make this area more walkable. Just so I have a more direct route to walk home from Newtown Saloon. Ooh, looks like an encampment on the left. Okay, that's a little sketchy. Smells like there's been some fires in here. Definitely smells like there's been some fires. So I had to get super quiet because I realized that underneath those trees on my left were numerous urban campers. There's evidence where there were homeless people, but they just left their trash behind. Yeah, numerous urban campers. They were very much awake. I could hear them. I could see their lights and whatnot. And those are the kind of people that get very violent if they notice somebody is filming them. And sometimes I want to give interviews, but it's here for Tales from the Street. But I am very vulnerable and very alone. I'm sure there were multiple people in that tent. I didn't want them coming out. So. Oh, and I am at 27 minutes and 36 seconds. So I think I can get like 35 minutes on this before I run out of space. Again, like I said, I'm back on Obamaphone 3. I uploaded my first segment of vlog tonight's wanderings, on the Wi-Fi over at Newtown Saloon. Now this is glorious. This is the front entrance of that big data center that I don't know the name of offhand. That's gorgeous. That's some like pretty high class silicon. On the other side of the fence where the homeless encampment is, we've got some beautiful architecture, lots of glass. That's awesome. And that's designed so it can be viewed from the people driving past the freeway if they look to the right. It's so crazy, the juxtaposition of just absolute poverty, people living in tents, to that just clear sign of wealth. I'm sure security is watching me at this point. Maybe not. I'm on the none of their business side of the fence anyway. Of course, I'm on the trespassing on ADOT property side of the fence, but ADOT doesn't really do much about that. And if you don't believe me, walk across I-17 on Indian School Road. All right, there's where the canal ends. The canal ends, it goes under. I am not climbing in those culverts, but there's culverts that go underneath the Loop 202 freeway. So yeah, this is obviously the front entrance. Oh, it's called, damn, there's the sign and I can't read it. Maybe if I zoom in on it, I can read it on my phone. No. Iron Mountain? I don't know, I just know it's a big data center. But yeah, there's the main entrance. That is the security gate where that red light is up ahead there. And so yeah, if you can get past that security gate, which few people can, there's the front entrance. Probably a great place to work. I'm definitely not qualified. So the canal is ended. Let's see how close I am to Loop 202 freeway. just shy of 30 minutes. I'm going to run out of space for video soon. There's definitely some trash here. It's hard to say how much of that was left behind from urban campers and how much of that is just shit people check out their windows on the freeway. Oh yeah, I'm right on the edge of Loop 202 where no pedestrians should be. Look at retaining it here. Oh! And boom, there's the freeway. Look at all that land just used exclusively for people traveling in their horseless carriages. Land that's off limits for people who walk like humans are supposed to travel. It's not a view I've ever got of Loop 202 before. This is pretty fascinating. All right, I'm gonna head back down. I'm not sure how I get to 48th Street from here, but I'm pretty close to 48th Street. I was really hoping there'd be some kind of a way I could walk. Oh, I'm getting weeds poking my feet. That's not pleasant. Still wearing my Adidas flats. This is not the kind of footwear I should be wearing while doing this. All right. Yikes. I definitely need to, hot water or no, I'm going to definitely need to wash my feet when I get home. Still got the wounds on my left foot from slipping over by the Amazon Fresh warehouse. Ooh, 31 and a half minutes of video. I'm going to run out of space within like the next 3 minutes. So this is an interesting piece of hidden pedestrian infrastructure that shouldn't exist, but really could exist. The city cared to create that sort of thing for people that are traveling in something other than a motor vehicle. Just wondering how I'm going to get to 48th Street. Judging from how many people have walked through here and biked through here, because I see bicycle. I can even see what looks like the tire tracks of a car or a truck or something. Obviously, people travel this way. There's a security gate on the left. I'm not sure. I think this is a manned security gate. So I'm sure they will thoroughly not appreciate me shooting video of them. Never thought I'd see this gate from this angle. I usually see it when I'm walking southbound on 48th Street as I look to the left. Not sure if that's a manned security shack or not. Still a chain link fence between me and that. We've got some American flag and an Arizona flag flying proud and lit up. And a guard shack and a keypad. Yeah, I don't think that's a manned guard shack. Doesn't look like there's anybody in there. Looks like there's a keypad for people to pull up to and communicate with people inside the building. Manned guard shacks are not a very common thing anymore. 33 minutes. I'm about to. There's no chance of me finding the old lady I was looking for. I feel terrible about that. As I'd said before, I was not trying to ditch her at Home Inc. I just should have given her I should have really wrote my address down on a piece of paper so she would have a chance of finding that. I often talk about how I don't feel, this gate wide open. It's a gate that could be closed, but it's wide open, and I'm on 48th Street. Man, well, that's awesome. I've always wondered if I could walk through that.